time over here now.
Tampa Bay's 24-hour news source.
Talent to get the news, think it through, write it, back it up with research.
Keeping you informed.
When you need to know.
Get the news!
Every day, all day.
Tampa Bay's 24-hour news source. News Talk 1040 Tampa Bay.
Girl, they're playing Michael Jackson, who I have it on pretty good authority, was a very big fan of my next guest.
It's totally false.
I don't know that it is. And joining me now to corroborate my reporting, Kennedy, the K-Train, back in the station. Hey, girl.
Yeah, that's one of those where, you know, at that time at MTV, there was no social media. Mm-hmm. So you didn't know who liked who.
Yeah.
Like, I have gone up to people and been completely cold-shouldered. Uh-huh. You know, and I've told the story about how at the 1996 Video Music Awards, Chris Cornell came up to me and whispered in my ear, "Leave my drummer alone," because I kept going on air talking about how much I loved Matt Cameron and how he should be my boyfriend, because I thought that would work. I was like, this is like, you know, a billboard for my affection. Like, come, it's a bug light. Matt Cameron was already in a very serious relationship with a woman he's been married to for like 35 years. A lovely woman named April. But I didn't know that. Like, there was no Wikipedia. How would you know? And so going up to Michael Jackson, I was like, this could go very badly, because I had been on MTV long enough. And what I didn't take into consideration enough, and it's one of those things like, you don't realize the power you have until it is gone. Yeah. And so, and I didn't watch MTV, so I didn't realize what it looked like.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize until I started dating a guy in a band that all they do all day long is watch MTV. Like, everyone who's got a music video on MTV at that time, all they did was watch MTV. It's like how old white people watch Fox News. Thank God.
Thank you, old white people.
Yes, amen. And so I went up to him and he like leapt out of his seat. He was so excited to see me.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
That makes me so happy.
And my one regret is at the 1994 Video Music Awards. So when I interviewed Tom Freston, the former CEO of Viacom and MTV Networks, he was my boss's boss when I was there. And we talked about how he wanted me fired the night of the Giuliani incident when I licked the microphone suggestively. That was the 1994 Video Music Awards where Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley opened the show.
With the fake kiss.
Yes. He said it would have laughed. My only regret is that I didn't go up to him again and say hi, because I would have met Lisa Marie Presley. But again, like, I was so worried that he was going to pretend to not know me or shut me down. And they were sitting in the front row. So if I had gone up to them and been blown off, I would have been mortified in front of everyone and all of the music journalists who would have loved to have written about that. But I should have just like bitten the bullet and been like, "Hey, bro, what's up?"
100%, because you would have gotten Michael out of kissing the girl.
Yeah.
like,
oh, thank you. I've been looking for a young gentleman just like you. It's like, Michael, look at the boobies.
How's your brother doing? All right, well, I did something audacious at the top of the show today, and I think we might be able to pull this off. I told these people, because, you know, the whole hook is like, I get on the air, and I'm like, I'm not an activist. You're not an activist. We're trying to have honest conversations.
Just trying to have a good time,
yeah,
really.
It's where thank you. You know the Jim Morrison line, I'm going to get my kicks. That's how I look at media. Okay? Yeah. All right. I woke up this morning, I got myself a beer. The future's uncertain. The end is always near. That's what we're doing here. That is us. That is our relationship
my version of that is the minor celebration I have inside every time my key card works getting into the building.
Every time they let us back in
I've been here for 13 years and change. And every time I'm like, yes.
I will tell you something you're not supposed to celebrate on the spot. My cousin died when she was like 18. We got her into a Hofstra bar, McKeeb's. And the minute he let her in, she high-fived me and he dragged her right out.
Yeah.
She just literally like looked at her ID. He's like, come on in. And she was like, yes. The guy was like, that was it.
Get her out.
So what was the audacious thing you did this morning?
I told him at the top of the show. I told him at the top of the show I was going to play a Hillary Clinton clip, and we were probably going to agree with it. Yeah. And as crazy as this sounds, I just want you to hear it, because the qualifier here is we don't make a sport of agreeing with Hillary Clinton. In fact, the people's pantsuit, as we've affectionately been calling her for the 10 years we know each other. But she had a clip about the internet, and she was saying social media is making people more anti-Semitic, which is not a popular position in the Democrat Party, because they're like, yeah, so what's the problem, Hillary? You know, I play a pretty famous Bill clip on here about how Hamas has established a moral equivalence by putting a lot of their military installations in civilian dense areas. Yeah. And it's funny because he used to say this at all of his speeches. He can't say it now. He'd be in a lot of trouble. But I don't want to spend our whole hit on this, but I had promised them I would play this. I just want your take, because I was like, at least there's some legitimate candor here. You know, she went back to probably calling us Nazis and the rest of the clip and everything else. But, you know, and that's part of the problem, too.
What we need is a re-education camp for people who disagree with me.
So what is she saying? What's she saying here, though? I do not believe she's wrong. And I have probably played in the last year 100 clips of hers where I'm like, oh, come on, are you kidding me? Yeah. Like when you remember when she was...
back into your cave.
Yeah, do you remember like a month ago when she was talking about, we need the media to get hard with Trump? I'm like, the media has been calling him literally Hitler.
The media is so aggressively aroused. Like, they are so hard. They would get arrested if they walked out on the street anywhere near a child. That's how hard the media is.
Do you know that when 99% of the media makes love to their spouse, one of them is wearing a Trump mask?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. There's probably like 2 or 3 weirdos doing a Melania mask, but I'd say 99% are a Trump mask. Anyway.
And it's the dude wearing the Melania mask.
We're not kidding.
Tell me I'm pretty.
So give me that. I just want to hear it. I don't know where this came from, but you know, Rush Limbaugh used to say there was a random act of journalism. He's like, every once in a while, he's like, some garbage reporter would ask a real question, and he's like, I might as well call it out. I don't know why this is a thing, but I want to hear it. So listen to this, clip 18.
Smart, well-educated young people from our own country, from around the world, where were they getting their information? They were getting their information from social media, particularly TikTok.
Figured it out.
That is where they were learning about what happened on October 7th, what happened in the, days, weeks, and months to follow. That's a serious problem. It's a serious problem for democracy, whether it's Israel or the United States, and it's a serious problem for our young people.
Cutting it right there, but I bet you this is part of a larger point where she was going to blame right-wingers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the answer?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, come on,
she's only going to focus on the right-wing anti-Semitism. Yeah. And that's disingenuous. Yes. I mean, it's really, it is unsettling and creepy that both extremes on the right and the left in this country have landed in the same place on the same issue.
And it's really gross.
That is so messed up.
Yeah.
And that is not an indictment of Israel or the Jewish people. That is an indictment of where we are at the margins politically in this country. Yeah. And, what the resting point for their most extreme positions is right next door to each other.
Amen. We're talking to Kennedy in studio. Like myself, not getting any of the good guitar money flying around media right now. There's a lot of good guitar money out there. No one's giving it to us, though. So here we are. This is why we can't have nice things. But it's true. And this is an experience when I was in California last Friday night. And we had In-N-Out Burger. Everybody knows the story that I told on your podcast about me and Lincoln eating 3 4x4s apiece. Yep. We ate 12 cheeseburgers apiece.
So those, I think those are farm boys.
They are called 4x4s.
Okay, I know they're 4x4s with buns, but without buns. So if I'm not mistaken, a farm boy is 2 patties and 2 slices of cheese in the middle. So the patties become the bun.
You see, I thought a farm boy was what Jenny made me dress up as when we're on the road. But, okay, I don't know. I'll work with you here. Yeah. I'll work with you. But that kid, the stoned cashier who rung us up said, where are you from? We said, New York. And he goes, I'm not kidding. He goes, Jew York? And then he goes, I am so sorry. Like, for real, because he was stoned and he caught himself. But understand, he's out there in commie California.
Jesus.
Yeah, where college kids, Jewish kids, have been blocked from college campuses.
Yeah.
It's like
that's why I will not give a dime to UCLA.
Never.
Like, they keep coming to me with the handout for the humanities department and the Wooden Scholarship Fund and, Super Bruins Unite, whatever the hell, organization is asking for money. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And it's like, I will lead them on, talk to them on the phone. They'll ask me, what was my undergrad experience like? And I will say it was pristine.
Yeah.
It was incredible. What an honor to have gone to UCLA in the early aughts.
Yeah.
But now it's an anti-Semitic hellhole.
Yep.
And what are you doing to protect Jewish students?
Not a lot. And it's crazy because when you think about it as a comic, that's where George
Can you imagine if Muslim or black students were
denied
blocked from
entry?
going into the library?
Oh, God. We'd have mandatory forced crying sessions right now and civil rights marches everywhere in America. And when there's a double standard, there's none. That's the point. We're not saying this should happen to them in retaliation.
Absolutely not.
Not even remotely close. We're saying what's happening to the Jewish community specifically and how they're being scared. It's really disgusting. And it is both parties on either side of it. And I don't doubt social media, as Hillary Clinton was saying, is one of the great driving forces behind it. But what's fascinating is, like, look at Mamdani here in New York. That traditionally, he has taken positions that if you're running for major office, you pay people to destroy the media. You know what I mean? But now he's taking them, like, repeatedly. And
doubling down.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
the
mean.
people on his transition team.
Oh, wow.
The people that he's naming are like the most extreme. He didn't triangulate. There was no I'm going to run as a super lefty and then, find the squishy middle. Absolutely not.
How about his city council voting to give themselves a 16% raise?
Yeah.
Affordability. We're going to help out the little guys. It reminds me of the Naked Gun. Not a man, woman, or child on police force is going to rest till we find out who did this to your husband. Now, come on. Let's get a bite to eat. All right. Kennedy's here. We're going to save the queen when we come back.
The show that's got listeners on lockdown.
People that are from prisons, people that are from mental institutions, insane asylums.
This is Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon.
You're listening to Fox Across America with Jimmy Fallon. Stay informed with news at the top and bottom of every hour. News, information, and talk. News Talk 1040 WHBO.
Many of the big attorneys you see on TV have zero desire to take on your case themselves. At Catania & Catania, they work with clients directly every single day. Catania & Catania, here to help. Offices Tampa non-attorney spokesman.
Ninth on Fox Across America, that you can't do two segments with Kennedy without bringing in some serious backup.
Okay.
Joining us now is a woman I had the good pleasure of meeting when I was in North Dakota. The great Crystal is on the line with her notebook full of ideas. Hey, girl.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. What an exciting day after Mike and Susan Dell donated that $6 billion to help all the kids in the U.S. under the age of 10.
Boom.
Yes. Well, it's in conjunction with the Trump accounts. And this is $250 for the kids under the age of 10. And you're kind of to bump up for a buffer. Now, here's this for bipartisanship. Wouldn't it be great if David Rubenstein, who's a clear, he's a liberal, he hangs out with Biden, and that's okay. That's okay. But wouldn't it be great if he also would donate, a few billion? And Mark Zuckerberg donate a few billion.
Yeah, Reid Hoffman.
Amen.
Larry Ellison. Like, you could go down the list. Warren Buffett. They all could reach in and do something meaningful. And then, when the kids reach 18, this is all like completely tax deferred, then they can open an IRA.
Yeah.
And
do things.
Yeah.
And you know what,
transfer
Crystal?
money and continue funding it.
Yes,
Crystal, what I love about your idea is it's all of these, the rich should pay more in taxes, liberals that could be just doing this because it's direct to the people. It's not, here's a bunch of money for the government.
Without taxes taken out.
It's not, here's a gift to the government. Let's hope it gets where it's going, which is most NGO money. This is a direct benefit. So, Crystal, you co-sign this.
I would love to do that. I'd fly down there in a heartbeat.
Whoa!
But, yes, absolutely.
Spark up that private jet, Crystal.
Oh, God.
I don't. Oh, I fly commercial always.
Oh,
but the beauty is that the kids are going to have a lifeline, more or less, understanding finances.
Yep.
And Michael Bell was talking about how he went to the bank with his little passport savings book, and he learned about investment, and he learned about savings as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but now, Crystal, I hate to interrupt you, but now kids have Instagram reels and TikTok videos that teach them about investing. And it's like, if you get that in your algorithm, you will be a millionaire.
Amen.
Several times over by the time you retire.
Crystal, this is this is all good stuff. Before we let you go, do you agree? I said this earlier. We should just be teaching financial literacy in home ec.
There is no home ec anymore.
Yes, sir.
They don't even have it.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
They don't have civics. They don't have kids don't know how to write a check.
That's crazy.
They don't have any of that stuff. I mean, they'll get to econ by the time they're in high school.
You see, Crystal, that's why I bring my underage kid to casinos. Money management. Exactly what you just said.
It's like the kids selling chiclets on the subway. I'm like, finally they're learning
Crystal.
that.
We'll see you soon, girlfriend. Be well.
Bye-bye.
The great Crystal. She didn't sign up for that. She got in the ring. I will tell you this, though. I was something I heard you talking about on the 5 about how if a kid invests $164 a week, they get to the age of 60 and they'll have all that money.
Yep.
And I've been having this conversation with Lincoln forever. I'm like, when you think about the strategy between going to college and getting a car and everything else, you've got to think about all of this in terms of the next Lincoln. If you go to an expensive school, maybe there's less money to invest. Maybe you have a cheaper car. You know what I mean? And you got to think in those terms, because when you're a little kid, it's just so impossible to fathom that you might be 60 or 80. Someday. Yeah. That's why you do have to front end this stuff. And if they do this, it would be one of the most consequential things a president's done domestically in a long time.
Absolutely. I mean, the ramifications of that and the wealth building for an entire generation is that there's so much upside to that.
You could get back to a place that maybe our parents grew up in when this was a little more approachable, meaning home ownership and stuff like that.
I do think the tide is shifting in terms of people Lincoln's age and my younger daughter's age choosing state schools and trade schools so they're not saddled with $300,000 in debt. I mean, that to me is absolutely ridiculous. So it's high. And, it's like, and I'm, this is not the point that I came to on my own, but if you're saying that a child can choose to change their gender, but you're also saying that they can't read the paperwork for student loans, like those two statements are in conflict with each other.
No, it's a great point, man. And that's when it comes full circle, there is no logical defense of that position. And that's what I think we're at the precipice of embracing as a society. We're not there yet, but I feel like we've made a lot of inroads because they had created a gap between what people believed to be true and what they were willing to say. And that gap existed for a long time. That's how a lot of, women wound up with guys in their locker rooms. Okay. They didn't want to be labeled transphobes and everything in between.
I invited them in.
Well, to be clear,
record.
You were in their locker room.
Well,
Let's be clear. But when you control the language, you control the people. So in addition to Kennedy's Free the Nipple campaign she just did on camera, let's free the language. That's what we do every day on this show. Amen. That's all. We're just trying to help. Am I right?
That's all we can do, Jim.
Bottom of the 9th, things they need to know before we go. The Kennedy Saves the World podcast is yours every day. I mean, if you talk about an embarrassment of riches for a nation, that they can just get that pod every day.
Podcasts a week for free.
5.
Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you find it, go get it.
It's just there. You go get it. You're better off for it. And as I've said on your podcast a lot, the fact that you need to save the world 5 times a week is also a reminder to the world to get its S together.
Please.
Okay, it would be great if you could only save it twice a week.
Make the list a little easier for me.
The idea that you've got to save every day. The world, you did it again, world. This is the last time.
Can't have nice things.
Never. So get it together. We're back here tomorrow to do it again live. We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Until then, go enjoy your American privilege. Be a Republican, be a Democrat. Just don't be a...
You are the best thing on the radio.